It's your boy Adam West. This time I'm gonna bring you something a little different. This is just a little StarCraft game that I played, and I wanted to record it because it really just shows the arrogance of some players. Um, you may be wondering, Adam, why are you blasting this music, this Tchaikovsky? I can barely hear you talk. Well, you may have also noticed the screeching uh, distortion of my mic, and that is why. The distortion is so loud that the only way it's not extremely annoying is if I play music. So anyways, my opponent messes up his opening. You wouldn't really see it. I mean, I didn't really show it, but he forgets to build this Overlord until 135. That's way too late. He didn't build any workers because of it, so he's behind in income. Already at the 1 minute mark, the 1:15 minute mark, I'm already ahead in income. So basically he fucked up, and this is very common with Zerg players. Zerg players are lazy. They don't really give a shit about the build orders. My build order was perfect. I watched videos on it. I know the exact build order. Completely standard pro build order. His is just complete dog shit. So you'll notice he has a bunch of these things, these zerglings here, these disgusting little creatures. Basically, he's building only zerglings, no workers, which is what we call an all-in. He's playing an aggro build. So he's trying to kill me within the 3 minute mark, which is also what I would call cheese. It's not really like it's not hard. It's not hard to do what he's doing. It's easy. Every single game he probably does this. Every single game he probably just builds these. He does this shitty opening that he didn't even practice, and he just builds a bunch of zerglings. So this guy's basically a noob. He's just new to the game. He's shit. So anyway, he sends out all these zerglings, and at this point here, with these zerglings here, he really fucked it up. I don't know why they're so separated, but I could have lost here because here I have literally no units. At this point in the game, I have 0 units because I've just been building workers. As you can see, I have 23 workers. He has 14. So I have double as many workers. I have no units. At this point, I could have lost. I really could have lost if he just sent these zerglings into my base. But no, he's stupid because zerg players are all stupid and lazy. Well, at this rank, because Terran's harder to play, you know. Big-brained race. So anyways, I decided, hey, I'm going to use this SCV to build a supply depot here to cover up this little entrance between the minerals, and then he sees the SCV and he decides, well, he didn't even see the SCV, he sent these zerglings, he just clicked them over here, he wanted to kill my base. But he instead just decides to attack this SCV instead, so he changed it to attack this, and this is where he fucked up. Because he should have known that at this point, I saw his zerglings, and at this moment, as you can see in this instant, I'm raising my supply depots. So he had time to send his zerglings into my base and win the game, but he made a mistake and decided to attack this SCV. This mistake cost him the game because he can't break this wall. So if he only slipped through the wall instead of trying to attack the wall, which is something you never do as Zerg. If he's watched any pro matches, he would know that you can't just break a supply depot wall with zerglings. But let me show you why. Let me show you why this is a stupid move. So he tries to attack all these supply depots at the same time. As you can see, he's getting very minimal damage on either of them. And he wouldn't even have killed them, but I also just repair them on top of that just to fuck with him. So he doesn't even get any damage on these supply depots. All his zerglings die. At this point, he still only has 14 workers, which is like just the shit he built at the beginning of the game. He's still only building zerglings, which can't break this wall. Anyone knows who's played StarCraft knows that you can't just get through this wall with zerglings. But he doesn't. He's just a noob. He's an idiot. So he sends out more zerglings, and he tries to get through this wall. He piles up all his zerglings with zergling speed upgrade, and he's like, you know what? It didn't work. I'll try again. Definition of insanity. Didn't work. I'll just try it again. Like, why would he think that a couple more zerglings would get through the wall? Look how many Marines I have now. I know he's going to do it again. I know he's going to do it again. So of course it doesn't work. And then he says, okay, that's clearly not going to work. So I'll just wait for him to take a second base. At this point, I have a siege tank almost out. Siege tanks are a high-tech unit. He has barely any zerglings. At this point, I'm ahead of him on supply, even without the siege tank. So at this point, he has no chance. He's building a couple drones and an overlord. And then at this point in the game, he stops building units. He's no longer building anything. He just attacks. That's all he can focus on. He can't even build shit at the same time. He decides instead of attacking anything, well, he should be focusing the siege tank, and that is what he does, so props to him. But he should have looked at this and said, I can't win this, but no. He decides that he can win this because he's an idiot. So he tries to just get around here and attack this. There's no surface area, and they all get gunned down. And then at this point, I can see that he's not building anything, so at this point, the moment some of his zerglings died, he opened up the chat and he starts typing. And, you know, he spends a good 30 seconds typing out this hate message because he's so salty that he lost after making such idiotic plays that, I mean, even a non-StarCraft person watching this can tell that he was just an idiot. And this is what he says. Yo, you're boring, man. Learn to play a real race, LMFAO. And also, you seem like one of those scrubs who lose on purpose to lower your MMR. So sad, nerd. So somehow he has the audacity to call me a smurf, a nerd, and boring, and a scrub. And he says I'm not playing a real race. But just anybody who looks at the way this guy played, anybody can tell that all he knows how to do is do one thing, and that's attack with zerglings. And that doesn't even require any micro or any control. And he thinks he's a genius. He thinks he's entertaining. He thinks he's cool. He's exciting. He thinks his playstyle requires skill. And just the audacity of these Zerg players is just unbelievable. It's despicable. It's detestable. And they're really just disgusting. And that's all I had to say.